my God, we've got 3 of you today. I'm so excited to share your story. Let's kick off first by just doing some intros. So who wants to get started? Let's talk about what the business does first, and then let's introduce the 3 of you so we kind of set up the conversation for today.
Okay, so we're an NDIS provider, but we do a lot of focus on the day program, community participation, a little bit of in-home support, capacity building.
I love that. And now, so what do you do? So let's go names and what you do for the business.
Okay, so I'm Sarah, and I'm the director and original founder of this organisation, and I've got a role of many hats. But yeah, I've originally come from where I was just a worker, support worker, from 18 years old, and I've just got a real fire in my belly for these guys.
So good.
My name is Terry Ann, and I'm the quality assurance manager. It's a bit of an ambiguous title here. I do lots of different things. I work a lot with staff, ensuring their welfare, making sure that they're happy and healthy and go home in the same way. I have a background actually in SEAL homes. So being welcomed into the day program environment has been a really good challenge for me personally. Yes, that's a bit about me. But she loves the challenge.
She loves the challenge.
I'm like, I was just like, you make employees happy. I'm like, I need one of you on my team.
I know, she's great. I love it. She goes, am I doing it right? And I'm like, yes, you're amazing. Just keep going. You're on track.
Incredible.
So my name's Emily. My background is Aboriginal early intervention, and I recently jumped ship over to the NDIS field. My role, many hats, but mainly just to collaborate with other service providers and who, is engaged with the client's participants' care, making sure that we're on top of things.
Do a lot of cultural.
Yeah, Aboriginal woman. I do a lot of the cultural work as well, linking in with the cultural services and just making sure that we have the culturally safe boundaries and all that in the workplace.
Awesome.
That's
I love
it. Participants.
Yeah.
But it's been a good collaboration because she's got that background, but we do have a lot of First Nations and both staff and participants and the way that direction's going. So it comes in with the cultural diversity of mixing it up and bringing them all together as one.
Yeah, and it's interesting, you've got to have somebody that has that lens of, understanding everyone's circumstances and can help everybody come together in a good way.
Yeah.
So yes, we come as one.
We do. We make that quite clear too.
Yes, that we are all one. It's not that, because you're Indigenous or
everyone's different.
Yeah, everyone's different, but we're all one. We're all human. We all walk the same path. We're all in it, doing the same thing.
That's so cool.
Try and get those barriers down, which has been interesting.
Oh, I can imagine. So how did this even get started?
Oh, so
COVID.
Well, no, basically I walked into Pete Island when I was 18 and it was quite overwhelming. But a great story and a lot of history and experience and life lived experiences being in that field, especially the transition from the Mental Health Act to the Disability Act to them coming in and tidying everything up to be to where we are today in the industry, which has been, quite involving, but I've grown with that whole process. So I suppose I was lucky that I came in on the end of it. So I could see why the changes were being made and then grew with it. And then they shut down did the decommissioning of all the large resis, and there was the grandfather's agreement to where, you know, they get them out in the community and then have them integrated back in. So we supported them through the transition period of going to the community. Some guys had never been to a shop or a cafe, you know, to the point, yeah, we're teaching them how to break down those habits of just knowing that one thing. So that was quite challenging but rewarding. Set up all their houses, and then I seen a huge gap when we're trying to link them into services. They didn't essentially fit into the criterias, so they were left without services. So that's when I went, well, I'll go build a service around that, the more complex, challenging participants. So I focused purely on that, and it just grew in that respect because they all came. And so then I just modified it too, because it's hard with the NDIS standards, because you've got to keep everything within the standards and the guidelines, but you've also got that input and foresight of the participants and what they want and need and what they're seeking. So I've done a lot of tweaking and pushing it to the edge of grey areas to just make it work, but make it for them. So, you know, like they plan a lot of their programs and activities. They have a lot of input, which we're finding the balance in that, because that's hard when you've got management side, staff side, and then you've got the participants got a big input into what they want and voice what they want. So it's teaching skills across the board to the participants, to the staff, to us management on how to collaborate and find that middle ground to where everything's in line.
And collaborating with their other stakeholders,
Yeah,
family
family members, house managers. It's a real big jigsaw puzzle, but somehow we do it.
Yeah.
And it works.
I guess because it's so flexible and it's not structured.
Yeah.
And they do have their choices. They have their rights and, you know, what they want to do. And we have family meetings once a week and they all give their inputs on, you know, what they want to do.
But yeah, so then you've got the family's input, and then there's a lot of factors in there that kind of we face challenges and barriers constantly, like daily. But somehow
it works.
we work. So we chew it up and mix it around, and all of a sudden we come out with a solution. You said we're about solutions, not problems.
I love that. I love that. I was going to say, do you have any tips? Like, I think this is super translatable, you know, dealing with multiple parties or multiple stakeholders and trying to get the best outcome for the participant. You know, do you guys have a bit of a, you know, whether it's documented or just something that's a bit gut feel, like a process that you follow to try and make sure everyone's voice gets heard and it is the best outcome for the participant?
I think an open door policy is very important.
Yeah, so we do, you know, we've got our policies and, you know, procedures, and then we've got the structure of, you know, client feedback and consultation, and that's all within the standards. And but we've tweaked it enough to where it suits them. But I think a lot of it is sometimes we have to eat humble pie. Sometimes we have to be self-aware, and reflect on ourselves and our decisions, because you are thinking on your feet. And trying to make decisions sometimes while you're running, and they're not always the greatest decisions, but you learn from them. But we've just got a real open understanding, and no one, you know, makes huge mistakes or is a stuff up, because if we learn from it and we've got something out of it, and you're aware of it, well then it was growth, and it was a learning part of that particular situation or part of the business. We're forever changing because we have to. I think it's that, as Emily said, that open door, flexibility, nothing's set in stone, because it could change at the hat, because we do deal with people. We do deal with people with behaviours or mental health. So what was good yesterday wasn't good today. So
Mm.
it's just constantly forever a changing environment. But we keep that same structured culture, I think, that keeps us all together as that we're on the same page
Mm.
with our team. Which so
I do think we're very good communicators.
probably
Too
Too much.
a little bit too much.
Sometimes that's important. Yes.
but yes, that is true. We're very good at
Yeah.
communicators, and we don't have that full rigid of how communication comes across.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people are out there on the floor and they've had a pretty bad day and they might come
Mm.
flying in like a tornado.
I think it's really important that we are very approachable to the staff too. So if
We're
anything's
understanding,
happening,
like we put ourselves in their position.
we've all worked
Mm.
with somebody who's not been that
Yeah.
nice.
The
to-
majority of
yeah.
us have been worked from the floor up.
Mm.
So we know what it's like. We're not just walking into a job and textbook. Well, this is what it says in the staff handbook. Sorry,
Yeah.
that doesn't fly. Well, no, sorry, but that ain't going to work.
There's
So-
nothing worse than managers who've never done the job.
Yeah, and I think that's one of our biggest keys of where it is successful is that
Mm.
we do get it, and we have been out there, and we will go out there. You know, we're short staffed. You know, they don't see a director out there emptying bins and mopping and well, no, it's not a director, we're a team. We've got to get it done.
Mm. Yeah.
Right? The same with Terry Edge. She'll be not sitting at a desk, she's out there, you know. Same with Emily. If someone needs us or that supports, we're there. And yeah, we're not sitting there by the books or pulling out the policy, and we know what we've got to do legally and what's got to stand, but
Mm.
we're bringing that more personal approach too.
I think we come from an industry where we do have a lot of education and experience with different personalities, mental illness, anxiety, depression. So it gives us a special insight into our co-workers as well.
Yeah.
And managing multiple different personalities. And how can we make that work to our advantage?
Mm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's so
And as
good.
I say, they're as good as us. You know, your team's as good as your managers.
Yes. That's so true. It is really true. What's it like running a business within the constraints of the NDIS programs?
Oh.
Triggered.
Oh,
This is where we hide.
it's really hard.
That
Where you
is
get
hilarious.
Consultants to do all your forever changing policies and procedures, and you know,
Mm.
I think the thing we ride on and that we do is, we know all the governance and we know all the red tape, but we always just come back to the basis of it's person-centered. It's about the participant.
Yeah.
Mm.
That will never change. They change the wording overnight. They change structuring overnight. They change standards. But the main point of purpose that we're all here for is the person.
Mm.
And as long as we're doing the best for that person, and it's for the goodness of what they need,
Yeah.
and it's not being, you know, blurred lines. You fall in with the NDIS. If you want to get into the right to the governance and all the legislations and all that, like you need a uni degree and some, but you do get a lot of outsource, you know, like we've got a consultancy company that helps to make sure, because your policies and procedures, 120 page long.
Definitely making connections in the industry
Yeah.
is very helpful.
Yeah.
Mm.
Building on that.
Lots of webinars
Asking
and
for help.
workshops,
Yeah.
Yeah.
forever workshops, because they're just changing everything. But they're good
Yeah.
because it's you break out in breakout rooms, so you'll be with other providers that are doing it. So it's not just something on a PowerPoint screen. That's just so you nut out those problems that we're all facing, because there are a lot of problems. It is a very risky business now because of all the changes, the price cuts, the SHADS award. There's so many financial constraints. You know, the white bread report come out and not one provider is making a profit at the moment because of the
Wow.
government changes. You know, it's forecasted that they're all sitting at a 2% loss
Far
for
out.
next financial year. So, but you make it work. So
It's really
yeah,
interesting because I know Kylie who's presenting a Spark Masterclass on leadership next week. She works in the NDIS constraints as well and has had similar comments to make. But what blows my mind is like, but all of the people that seem to, like yourself, it's always about the people, you know. It's about, okay, we've got a job to do in terms of making this the best outcome for the participant. Yes, we've got crazy regulation and governance, but at the end of the day, we've got to do whatever it takes to make sure the participant gets the best outcome. And I just think it's so cool, you know, within those constraints, how, you know, businesses are born. It's awesome.
I know it's
You're really wasting everybody's time if you're not going to have that that drive. Yeah.
yeah. But it's becoming it's a very like split industry at the moment though. You've got your real innovative organisations that are coming out and, you know, trying to make it work and this and that, but then you've got your ones that have been around for 20 years, so they're still very restrained and restricted within their bloodlines, and they're big, and so yeah, it's a very and it's not a divide, I suppose. It's just like you've got your McDonald's compared to your little cafe down the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
McDonald's is always going to have their McDonald's way, you know.
Mm.
But there'll be 10 cafes down the road that are all different, but under the same. So yeah, it's good for the guys. I think it's been a good change. Needed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess moving outside of, you know, what the business does and think more from a business point of view, obviously we all have struggles in business. Any big lessons that you've learned over the past few years?
Yeah.
How much time do you have?
Yeah, it's like, and where's the wine?
Business lessons. Yeah, don't ever take this. Trust is a big one. Nothing's ever for face value. If anyone says they're giving you something for nothing, it's not nothing. There's always something at the end.
Totally.
Yeah. Don't mix family and business.
Oh yeah, I've done that one. That's fun.
Or partners, and you know.
Yeah, I've done that one. Don't do that.
Yeah. And I think like what I'm learning now, and that's where Terry Ann plays a good part, and Emily's good at that too, is that although she can be very empathetic too, and gets just a something.
Terry Ann's very good at this.
Yeah. So Terry Ann's our oversight seer, because we get sucked in basically, because we're a people person, and that doesn't run a business.
Doing that.
Yeah. So
Terry Ann keeps you both in check.
We needed Terry Ann, yeah.
As she said, no more freebies.
And I think I'm probably in a different. I have found personally where the stages of my personal life have to influence my business decisions.
Yeah.
For example, my children are adults now, so it changes the way I operate from when my kids are younger.
Yeah.
And it's so important
Just
to
from a
have the
different
different perspectives. Yeah.
It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
It is. And to have that person that, and I know has a long history in the industry and foresight, to say to me, no, Sarah, well, that's not a good move, or and show me from a different point of view, where I've always had this can't let them down, can't not do it.
So I'll pick
up all the pieces, and it doesn't matter how much it's going to cost me, I'll just fix it. When it's not like that, because that's not how you run business, and they're all out there doing their business.
Yeah.
And I was just being the people pleaser. So
it's really hard though. Like, I'm also a people pleaser, and you know, it is like soul destroying saying no sometimes, you know.
You lose sleep.
Oh, totally.
The lady's very complimentary, but I have to say, I think one of the things that does help me is I've worked for a number of quite large organisations. So I guess the way in which I present information to Sarah sometimes that may influence her decision,
No, it
because
does.
I'm trying to be as professional as I can, presenting her with the facts, and I do try to take my emotion out of it a lot of the time,
Yes.
so she can make a smarter decision.
Yeah, because I just run on emotion. That's my biggest downfall. Is I've got to
It's
take
the
the
best-
emotion out
It's
of
the
it.
best and
It's the best. It's a double-edged sword. Yes, I need to be more logical.
Yeah, but
Practical.
and I mean, it's difficult though, right? Like, it's so good that you've got people around you that, you know, can actually go, oh, okay, I know that about you. So what I'm going to do is try and support you by providing this level of detail that
Yeah.
maybe you hadn't considered or no one else has shared with you. So like having that support network around you as a team, like that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's been a real game changer, really. It was that missing piece that we're missing. And it was funny because I said to our my ex manager when he left, and he's like, really think about what you need to make this all come back together as one.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my question. Like, how did you find this amazing team? What did you do? What's your secret?
I put it out there, manifest it, apparently.
we manifest.
I manifest.
I love that you
Like,
were drawn in.
okay,
The
this is what I
universe brought you
need.
together.
Yeah, and I did. I sat there on the awards night down in Sydney because I was so emotional that my manager was leaving me and retiring, because he was a real rock. He got me back up on my feet and gave me that confidence to get back out of there. And I was just, I felt so empty and lost. And because everything I knew and everything I built was just all of a sudden gone. And it's where do I do? Where do I go from here? And because you get up and you do it again, you do it better. You've done it once, you do it again. That wasn't a dream. You got a better.
My God,
bigger
that
dream.
just gave me goosebumps. Shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I never forget that day. And he said, "So stop crying. Because while you're crying, they're out there thinking, where's Sarah? You need to get up and go." And that's where we got the Phoenix as our logo.
Cool. Yes.
So that's where that comes from. And from that, and then we're at the awards night, and he's left, and I was all emotional, feeling like a bit insecure, like a bit unprotected, because he was like the protector, and he'd be the voice like Terry Ann, and go, "No, brr." Like, okay. I'm like, I can't do this, I'm just lost without you. And said, just sit here and think about what you really need. What's this person going to bring and what you want them to bring? And it's everything that Terry Ann did within the first 2 hours of being here.
Wow.
And it was, she walked in, and because we met, and I'm like, yeah, come down, we'll have an interview. I really need someone like you that knows the industry and knows what they're doing. Because that's the other hard part is, 2 years in the industry isn't enough in this position.
Yeah.
You need to have a really good foresight. And I'd heard a lot about Terry Ann, good things, obviously.
Thank you.
And I basically said, yeah, come down, see what you like. If you like it, get a feel of the place. Because we say that to staff and participants. Just come and hang out, see if it's your thing. Might not be. It could be. And we had an interview, pretty casual interview, and she said, all right, well, when do you want me to start? And I said, because we're getting this office set up. I said, well, this office will be ready next week, so how about Tuesday? She goes, yep, but I've got crews that week. After, is that all right? Yep, not a problem. I'll have your desk emptied and ready to go. It's all yours.
That
And
is so
we've just been, it's been unreal. It's just that, missing piece, and you feel it. It's a feeling.
And I do definitely feel part of the family.
Yeah,
So
and we're a family, and they're my family. Like, I treat them like they're my family, and they've got to be happy too. But she's just that missing piece. But we found that with everybody, haven't we? They just fit. So we just say it's a manifestation of the universe.
That is so good. It's really interesting though. Like I'm trying to hire for a role right now, and all I've been thinking about is like the job list. Like, what are they got to do? But I'm just sitting here going, no, that's not what I need to be doing at all. I need to be like thinking, what do they bring? And I'm just going through all of the things. I'm like, oh my God, that's such a better way to approach it. I'm literally doing that after this call. I'm going to write my manifestation list.
I know, it wasn't until he put it to me, and then I sat and I thought about it. I was like, yeah, and it happens. So, and it does, it just fits. So
It's awesome. I love it. All right, let's leave our Spark community with one last piece of advice. So if you were talking to another woman in business, reflecting on your business journey, what would be one piece of advice that you would give them?
Sit, reflect on yourself, and make each day count with the right choices that you make.
yeah,
And just go for it, girlfriend.
don't give up. Yeah,
Don't ever
give up.
give up.
And as bad as today was, tomorrow is another day, and we start again.
Mine would be
Incredible.
never stop listening.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Never stop listening. And yeah,
I love
never
it so
give up.
much. Very wise words from the trio. Thank you all so much for being on Spark
Thank you,
Podcast. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.